Hello, everyone, and welcome to this panel of Purpose brought to you by Census. I'm your host, Gabrielle, and today I'm joined by Ankush Kaul, who's president at Census, Barry Phetteplace, who's CTO, Seamus Johnson, who's senior director of application development, and Allison Flood, who's the VP of Customer Success and Service Product. And we're here today to talk about Census Technologies Users Conference, which, if you shorten it, CtUC, and just why it's important. So you're going to want to stick around to get all of the insider information. Without further ado, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here today, everybody. I'm just so excited to get into this conversation and learn a little bit more about CtUC. And I'm going to start the first question off with you, actually, Ankush. I'm just going to ask you right here, right now, to establish what is the purpose of the Census Technologies Users Conference and why is it important to Census and Census clients?
Sure. Thanks, Gabrielle. So we started CtUC many years back as an experiment. The first time around was to just get our user community, which was much smaller at that time, together to learn from each other and to just network, in effect, when it just started. And over a couple of years of doing that, we started getting feedback from our customers that they found immense value in two things. One is networking with each other. It was less about networking, but kind of more sharing the similar kind of challenges that they go on their day-to-day basis and how they solve those problems. And second was learning about the best tools that are available out there to make their daily lives a little bit better. So over a period of years, that has become this has become such an integral part of who we are as Census and how we think of our customers and how they think of CtUC as a forum to get together with not only with to learn about the latest technologies we have, but more importantly, building the sense of community with each other, with the single goal of making the day-to-day better, which in effect serves the primary goal for all of us is to ensure patient safety. So it has different tenets to it, but think of it as a community of dedicated individuals coming together to learn about what's the best way to do their jobs and best way to serve patients.
And CtUC is just going to be such a great opportunity for all of these networking things that you're mentioning, and not just viewing technology to meet people. But this is actually going to be your first time at CtUC, is that correct? And
that's correct.
Is this your first time? Yeah. So what are you looking forward to as your first time, and just what do you see as CtUC's role in this vision for Census?
So I've been on the road meeting different clients, but not everybody, certainly. So that's one of the main things I'm excited about, getting involved in discussions in different breakouts that we have to hear from customers, hear what their today's big problems are, and equally importantly, what they see, how they see their lives changing, especially post-COVID, and what that means for them day to day. So, there's a lot of benefits on a day-to-day basis by just talking to customers, which is my favorite thing to do. But ultimately, my intent is no different from what I said earlier, which is the intent of this whole conference is to learn as much as possible to be able to serve each other better.
That's incredible. Well, what do you envision future client events to look like? Like, what is your dream client event experience?
That's a very interesting question. Maybe Disneyland. I think one of the central tenets of our go-forward strategy, and Barry and Seamus are going to talk about this a little bit, is around customer-centric innovation. So I think a dream CtUC would be where we are all together in person, first of all. And secondly, working together to develop some real-time tools, right? So we don't real-time help tools that can help them, do their jobs better on a day-to-day basis. But again, the theme of innovation, but more in real time with our customers, is probably the theme that I would see in an ideal CtUC.
Oh, for sure. And, this kind of leads me to the next question is, why is it important to provide continuing education opportunities to Census customers? So why is this important? And the sterile processing industry as a whole, how does it benefit this?
That's a good question. The world that we live in is not static at all, right? And especially true for healthcare sector post and even more true after COVID and the changes that it has brought and is expected to bring in going forward. So this builds an environment where it becomes super critical to stay ahead of all the changes that are going on in the marketplace, in technologies, in processes, to be able to serve, for us to be able to serve our customers better and ultimately ensure patient safety. So this education segment is our effort to make sure our customers are empowered with the latest and greatest that is out there, both in processes and tools and overall changes going on in healthcare, to be able to do their day-to-day better and ultimately serve their end customers better.
Yeah, because there are just so many changes constantly happening within healthcare. So it's wonderful there's a place that people can have visibility on these changes. And, Census puts a lot of focus on their clients' success. So I wanted to ask you, Allison, because in your new role as VP of Customer Success, that's your job. Like, what is your vision in leading the team that is focused specifically on Census clients and leading them to success?
Yeah, thank you so much for that. First of all, it's an honor to be in this role and be working with this group of people. When I graduated school, when I was growing up, I never would have in a million years said I'm going to end up in sterile processing. I'm not sure I really knew what sterile processing was at the time, quite frankly. But it's such a tight-knit community, right? So customer success for me is very personal. And what it boils down to for me is creating one team. And that's just not here in Census, right? I look at every single customer as part of my team. I can't possibly have all of the learnings that they experience in their day-to-day. So every day when I get out of bed, if I'm not learning something, then I might as well just stay in bed, right? So I approach every conversation and every engagement, both internally and with clients, hoping to learn something new and turning that back around for our customers. And I think, Ankush, to your point earlier about why is it so important to do continuing education and why do we do CtUC, right? Yes, we learn from our customers every single day, but getting all of that brain power in one event together, in one room together, is just such a great way to learn from each other. So when I think about customer success, that's what it is for me, right? Leveraging all of these amazing assets that we have in our tight-knit SPD community across the country to continue to learn and drive.
Well, as a follow-up to that, Allison, based on your SPD or healthcare experience, what does customer success actually look like to you?
Yeah, it's such a great question, right? This is really personal for me. I spent 7 years, right, working in that environment, and customer success for me, first and foremost, right, it's best in class patient care, but it's so much more than that. It's creating an environment where our clients feel prepared and empowered for everything they do in their day-to-day, whether it's ensuring that those first case starts happen on time and everything's prepared, or feeling equipped to have conversations around staffing and capital purchases. Just making sure that our clients have objective data as they head into those conversations so that they feel empowered is the best word for it, right? That they have that information at their fingertips to help them deliver results.
Barry and Seamus, well, now we're finally getting to you. I want to ask you this question. What can you tease about the future of the industry and what CtUC is going to mean for the future of Census product development team, just going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. So for me personally, I started here at Census about 20 years ago, and most of that time I spent as a software developer. So I was, prior to being involved in the CtUC conferences, I was very much behind the scenes. And so for me as a software developer, being at CtUC, having conversations with customers really drove that sense of purpose. I got to understand who they were. And one of the challenges maybe opportunities that I've seen persistently over that period of time is that despite the highly technical and very critical job that the folks in sterile processing do, they are an under-recognized group. And so we have an opportunity to really elevate that group through what we do. And that's what gets me up in the morning. So looking to the future, as an idealist, I see an opportunity to create a future where that team is recognized, because every one of us is going to benefit from that, right? We're all going to end up in the hospital at some point, probably. Maybe a little grim, but we all depend on the healthcare system. And so I just think it's something, it's a super important opportunity for us here at Census.
Sure. I'll start with your first question. Where do we see the future going? Of course, we always want to build world-class software. Our customers expect us to build world-class software. So as we concentrate on that, we're also looking to the future, which is really going to be around data. Access to data, being able to generate insights from data, being able to provide a set of tools that captures that and puts it in a way that customers can take it and generate their own insights. So analytical tools, those are the things that we really are focusing on, our customers are asking us to focus on, and it's largely untapped. So we continue to make inroads there and work directly with our customers, and we're not doing this in a vacuum, which kind of leads me to the second question you had asked, what's the value of something like CtUC? So as part of the work we do with our customers, it's pretty extensive in product development. We do something that we call Voice of the Customer, or VOC. So we're working directly with them, but it's very scripted in a way that we go in having a set of questions, and they know what those questions are going to be, because there's an end goal that we're after. We're trying to capture data and be able to quantify that, so we know that what we're working on is most important, and it's solving problems that they have. The value of something like CtUC, and Seamus already touched on this, is that it's less about that scripted VOC type of interaction and more about free-form communication with our customers. Like Seamus, I too was a developer for many years, and you often, I shouldn't say often, you rarely get to see your end user and how the lines of code you write every day are impacting them. When you go to something like CtUC as a developer, it's eye-opening. When you talk to someone who said, hey, that feature you put out in the last release, that was a game changer for us, and here are the 5 reasons why that was so important. Conversely, they may say, hey, that last feature you put out, you guys kind of missed the mark a little bit there. Can we talk about some things that I think would really improve that? Because they all have great ideas. They are the subject matter experts. And so gaining those insights and having those conversations is invaluable.
Oh, invaluable for sure. And just CtUC is the place for all these features that you're mentioning and just product releases that potentially may come in the future. And, on that note, this year for the theme for CtUC is the power of purpose. So I wanted to ask each and every one of you, what does the power of purpose mean to you? What is your purpose? And we'll go ahead and start off with Ankush.
Sure. So, what gets me up in the morning at a 50,000 foot level is to work together with a team of people, some of which you see on the screen here, and come together to do something truly great, which wouldn't have been possible by any one individual alone, and will far outlast us. And so to make that contribution. Now, we are incredibly lucky that we get to do that in an industry we are in. And Seamus was talking a little bit about Barry, Allison, they touched on it as well. The place where we all live, and by we, I mean us, and to Allison's point, our customers, which we consider as part of our community. The community that we operate in on a day-to-day basis gets to impact patient safety, and by just doing our job and making it better and ensuring patient safety, we are not only impacting direct customers, which are the patients, but a lot of families associated with that. So it becomes very personal if you start to really think about, hey, what are we doing on a day-to-day basis? So coming together with a team of people and doing something truly great, which wouldn't have been possible by one person, and getting to do that in an industry we are in, I think that kind of sums up my purpose. And it also sums up why I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity and can't believe how unbelievably lucky we are to be working in where we are.
That's a lovely summary. And Allison, what does the power of purpose mean to you?
Yeah, so in this particular role in customer success, for me, there's no greater purpose than getting the opportunity to build up the team around me. And I talked about it earlier. My team is not just the people here at Census. It's not the headcount that rolls up through me. It's every single SPD manager, SPD director who's going and fighting the good fight for all the people that roll up underneath them, being an asset to them, helping consolidate all the insights that we gain from, across the country and help them hopefully skip a few of the hurdles, right? A few of the lessons that I learned the hard way. If I can help them miss any one of those, then that's a job well done, right? That's a day that was worth getting out of bed for. So my power of purpose is that one team and being an asset for every single one of our customers and continuing to learn from them.
One team, one dream. Thank you, Allison. And Barry, what does the power of purpose mean to you?
Sure. With the title of Chief Technology Officer, I'd be remiss if I didn't say technology plays a large part in my purpose, but it's bigger than that. It's making sure that our customers are using software that empowers them and enhances their ability to do their job and doesn't get in the way of them doing their jobs. But it's also then internally making sure that the developers, the QA analysts, everyone on the development team understands the role they're playing and why it's critical and why it's important. It's pulling together our purpose as a technology team to empower our customers, both internal and external, making sure Allison's team has what they need, making sure our sales teams have what they need. So that's really what gets me up every day, is making sure that we're building the best possible software that enhances what people are trying to do.
And Seamus, what does the power of purpose mean to you?
For me, I think purpose is super important. Everybody wants to do work that matters. And like Ankush said, we're really fortunate here to be able to do work that really matters. The work that our customers do is so critical. And to be able to support that, we're very, very fortunate. So for me, what's kept me here at Census for 20 years is that purpose. That the work that I do here at Census really matters in a material way. We're helping to make the world a better place, and that's awesome.
That is so very awesome. And that's a wonderful ethos to get you coming out of bed every morning, as you said. And, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today to discuss about CtUC and what we have to look forward to in the near future. So that rounds up the conversation for today. Thank you, Ankush, Allison, Barry, Seamus. Thank you to all of you for joining us on this episode of the Power of Purpose panel. And for those listening, if you liked what you heard here, please visit Census.com to learn more about CtUC 2022 and look for this podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever it is you get your podcasts at. Thanks for tuning in.